So this is me completely barefaced except for some eye makeup. And as you can see, I'm not flawless. I have a blemish on my chin that I really don't like. But I'm just showing you today how I do get kind of like flawless or mostly kind of flawless looking skin, and how I wear my makeup on a daily basis when I'm going to school, because the last thing I want to do on a school day is go hug someone, a guy or girl, whoever, and then when I leave, there's like a patch of me on their clothing. I try and make my makeup really natural looking, and I also try and make it really quick and everything because I like to sleep as much as possible. I love sleeping. I hate waking up in the morning, so if I want to be able to wake up at 7, I have to be able to do this really quick. First thing I like to do is I take my MAC Studio Moisture Tint with SPF 15, and I use my colors in medium dark, and I take my favorite moisturizer, which is the Clinique Dramatically Different Moisturizing Lotion, and what I tend to do is I take about 2 squirts of the moisturizer, so like that much, and then I take a little squirt of the moisture tint just so that I'm not putting direct product on my face and it looks a little bit more natural. So in the end, this is what you will have, and then I just like to blend it together, and I will have this little mixture on my hands, if you can see because the lighting's kind of crazy, but I have that on, and then I'll just take it and put it all over. Put some on my neck, and I'll rub it in. Normally I don't have like eye makeup on, so I'll bring this all over my face, but since I do have some, So once I have all my face like mixture rubbed in, I like to make sure it's all blended by just running over my face with my fingers again. And the reason why I use my fingers instead of like a brush or something is just because I like that, like the heat from my fingers kind of make it blend into my skin better, because my main goal is just to look as natural as possible. Like I said before, I don't want to hug someone and then when I like end the hug, I don't want my face to be on it. But then because I am a student and I do go to bed late and I talk to people longer than I should and I don't really follow my bedtime, I don't have a bedtime, but I should be going to sleep earlier than I am. I like to take my favorite concealer of the moment, which is the MAC Select Moisture Cover, and my number is an NW20, and I just apply that under my eyes or on blemishes. As you can see, I kind of have a blemish there right now. So I just take a little bit under my eye, then like a little dot around my nose, and then on the blemish situation. But I'll just rub it in, and I like rubbing it in like as a little bit below my eye, just to kind of cover up some additional redness. And just something I want to note is that when I'm applying concealer, whether it be like a creamy liquidy concealer like this one, or a like kind of denser concealer like a creamy like, I don't know, like pot one, I always make sure to pat it on blemishes or even under my eyes, because you never want to rub in the concealer just because it kind of disperses the product all over where you don't really need it. So when I have a blemish on my face, I will like pat it on the actual blemish and then a little bit around to kind of mask it, and it really covers it really well. So that's basically all I do for my face. And then if I do want to use a powder, I'll use my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish Natural, which I do use sometimes, but a lot of the time I just skip it just because I don't really need the extra powder or product on my face. Basically what I'm using is moisturizer with a little bit of tint in it, since I'm even though this is a tinted moisturizer, I'm kind of even adding more moisture to it and taking away like kind of, what do we learn in science, like when you add more, I don't know, but it's just like kind of making the product last more, making it not as heavy, because using the tinted moisturizer alone can be really heavy because it is kind of a dense product even though it is a tinted moisturizer. So I'll just use that to kind of even out my skin tone and make my face like kind of look more flawless. And I'm going to be honest, when I go to school I don't always wear bronzer, and I rarely wear blush just because I don't know, I just don't feel like I need it to wear, but I did found kind of a blush / bronzer that kind of gives you the best of both worlds, and this is the Tarte Exposed blush. I feel like I've been talking about this so much lately, but it is honestly like the best blush ever. Normally I'll just take my 187 brush and I'll just swirl it in, and then second my cheeks and apply it to kind of add a little bit more definition and emphasize my cheekbones, because I don't want to really contour for school. I don't know. I just don't feel the need to contour for school. So I'll just blend that into my skin. So So that is my everyday foundation routine. I know it's really simple, and I know it might not help a lot of people since this is a really light foundation routine, but I just get questions all the time regarding like what I do to my skin. I'm sorry if you're looking for something more, but there are tons of YouTube videos if you want something for like more coverage or anything. But if you are like me and you don't need a lot of coverage, or you just want to cover up some discoloration on your face, this would really be a really good thing for you to try. So I just like it to make it look as natural as I can, and I hope you guys took something away from this. I really recommend the MAC tinted moisturizer. It's amazing and I love it. So I'll talk to y'all soon. Let me know what your foundation routine video is, and I'll see you later.